Hi, y'all. My name is Stephanie Wagner. Because I am a double major in elementary education and early childhood, I chose to do my Pecha Kucha on kindergarten because that kind of mixes in well with both of my majors that I have. When it comes to their developmental literacy when they're in kindergarten, they're very into environmental print at this age, so they know the Apple logo because of their parents' phones or tablets, and then that the golden arches represent McDonald's or the Target symbol maybe means shopping. Just a little bit more information about their development at this age. They should know book conventions for the most part. They still may be working on this, but they should know that you read from left to right and your pages go in sequence. And there's a title and a title page, and that there's a front and back cover as well. I am so excited to have my own classroom and get to decorate it. And I definitely want it to be very literacy oriented. I want there to be big rugs in a lot of places where literacy materials are available to them when they need access to them. Along with the rugs, it would be convenient if the rugs had like dots or squares on them just because the kids don't understand that they can't sit on each other. And so if they each have their own dot, that's something that would help. And then calendar time is also something to do when they are sitting on the rug. During independent reading, I want the kids to have an opportunity for a place where they can go and really feel comfortable and kind of be by themselves. When I was in first grade, there was an area in my classroom that was like a little tent that I could go in and read. And I really liked that, and it always made me feel really special when it was my turn to read in the tent. My kids to have a place where they can go where they feel comfortable. I think that's really important when you're trying to encourage literacy in them reading on their own. Is giving them a place where they can feel comfortable and they can go where they can be by themselves and know that there's not going to be any judgment from their peers. Because kindergartners are going to be right around that emergent reading stage, they're just starting to learn maybe some of their sight words. Some kids are going to come into kindergarten not knowing anything. So you kind of have to start with the basics with everyone. So like letter recognition is really important. So I think you should start with working on that as a foundation. Along with letter recognition, I think something that would be really beneficial in the kindergarten class is to have a word wall with simple words and pictures on it, just so they can kind of put the picture with the words so they know what that looks like. And then putting all their sight words up on a word wall so they can see those at all times as well. I want to allow a lot of time for the kids to read on their own. I think that's important at the kindergarten age. I remember always being super excited when we had independent reading time. Even though I couldn't read yet, it was a sense of confidence in myself when I had time to flip through a book and just even look at the pictures. Something else I want to touch on real quick. During big group, like when I'm reading to my class as a whole, I think it's important to choose fun books sometimes. I think that'll encourage them that reading can be fun if they can laugh and really enjoy the content of the book. So I think it's really important to choose fun books for big reading. Before I was a double major, I had a minor in Spanish, so I'm actually really excited to have the potential of having an English language learner in my class. I think it's a good learning experience for everyone in the class, and I think it can help my regular English speaking students as well. Along with the English language learners, I think it would be beneficial to have a word wall that has words in Spanish and in English. This will help the English language learners as well as my English speaking students. And I think reading books in both languages would also be beneficial for all students as well. Not even necessarily pertaining to literacy, but just anything in general going on in the classroom. A good way to communicate with a parent is a take-home folder. Whether you guys are reading a new book in class or a child got in trouble, this is just a really good way to communicate with parents smoothly and effectively. To add to the take-home folders, I think it's a good idea to send books home with the kids, even if it's just random ones off your bookshelf. As long as it's in their targeted reading ability, it's a good idea to send those home just to encourage parents to read to their kids and give them the resources to do so. Another idea that I really like is encourage your parents to read to the kids before bedtime, and if they have siblings, to do this as a family. This is a really good way for them to really bond and connect, and maybe even that can be something that they can talk about in the classroom, is the books that they read before they went to bed the night before. I think the most important thing that comes to listening skills is to kind of establish rules on the first day. I know they're kindergartners, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But if you kind of just remind them and keep up with them that we establish the rules on the first day, I think that will make it a little bit easier throughout the year. Along with establishing the rules on the first day, I think it's a good idea to have fun posters hung around the classroom that kind of state the class rules. Even if they don't know how to read all of those words yet, it's still a good reminder. It's something colorful to have on the walls, and I think that this will end up benefiting them in the end. As far as their oral development is concerned, I really like the idea of singing songs. I think that the kids really like it. It helps with their memorization and their vocals as well, and it really gets them excited about the material. So I definitely think that's something that I want to implement in my future classroom.